led to you coming to Joe's place?
Okay, when you kind of look at me, you don't really see me as someone with problems. Like, my family wasn't financially, didn't struggle like that. But underneath all that, behind the curtain, there was a lot of stuff going on in my family.
My dad, he ain't never been a dad for me. My daddy always been in Chicago. I don't know what he doing or what he doing, but I don't really care.
Were you living in hotels by yourself? Was it your
No, we were all living together in a hotel room. It was, for me, it was a short time because I couldn't, I was like, I can't live like this.
It's just like staying at college, kind of, because like we get we just do our own. Yeah, we do each other's clothes and stuff. And Fred, he's a homie too, and we kind of just like look out for each other, Yeah. When we're at school, we look out for each other. We always.
Well, we're in a lot of the same classes.
Yeah, we're in a lot of
so
the same classes. We always let each other know what's up. And Tyree, I mean, he's cool too. I mean, when he's not talking,
he's just a little kid, so I mean.
It's kind of different because we're older, but Tyree's still cool. I can't.
It's like a little brother. We gotta pick up.
Yeah.
One and only. Mic check 1 2, Fred.
Our story begins in a small, working-class suburb of St. Louis, Missouri called Maplewood. St. Louis is known around the world for its beer, its baseball, and the Arch. Maplewood has less than 10,000 inhabitants, largely a mix of African American and Caucasian, middle management and blue collar, and has a growing community of musicians, artists, and writers. Its downtown area is filled with art galleries, night spots, and restaurants, as well as picturesque tree-lined neighborhoods. In many ways, it represents the essence of small-town America. According to the National Center of Family Homelessness, there are over 1.5 million homeless teens and children in the United States. That's more than the entire population of Idaho. In St. Louis alone, a medium-sized U.S. city, there are an estimated 1,500 homeless teens, enough to fill a large high school to capacity.
I gotta work till 8:30 tonight.
No, we don't.
Yes, we do.
English.
Oh, yeah, English. I mean,
You say it where you start?
Purpose.
Michael's tonight.
How does a young boy finish his classwork when he's preoccupied with finding a place to sleep that night? In Maplewood, Missouri, one church and one school were willing to look at the faces behind the statistics. They refused to let these young teens remain invisible. Instead, they entered into the story so that they might change the ending.
It started for us anyway with a conversation that I had with Dr. Hinkie, Linda Hinkie, the superintendent of the Maplewood Public Schools. I was in her office just chit-chatting one day, and as I was leaving, I said to her, is there anything that we can be praying about? Is there anything that you need us to help with in the school district? And she said,
we've got to solve this problem of homelessness here, because I can't focus on students' education when they're not eating, they're not sleeping. Joe's place came out of some interactions with students who started showing up in my office regularly because I always kept snacks and frozen meals and things around. And so I noticed they were eating regularly here. And I talked with Vince Estrada, our Director of Student Services, about it, and he explained that one of them spent most of his life over sitting on the ledge beside D-Mart, and another slept in a car. The more I talked with people, I discovered that this was much more prevalent than I thought.
and so we started brainstorming. And we said, why couldn't we have a house where these students could live from Sunday to Friday to at least give them stability through the school year?
And one day I was going for a walk in the neighborhood, and this big yellow house down the street had a for sale sign in it. And I went, holy cow, that must be Joe's place. then of course we found Dan and Alyssa, which is, it was like they showed up. Dan interviewed with us, and a very skillful teacher, was perfect. And then suddenly they appeared as being willing to become the first house parents. So it's been, that Goethe saying, once you commit, providence follows. That's sort of the way I feel about Joe's Place. Once we committed to the concept, providence sort of took over for us.
Homelessness in education can be a pretty broad definition. So it could be an overcrowded house. They don't physically have a bed, so they're sleeping on the floor or the couch. It could be a family that's having a hard time with housing, so they're moving around a lot. So, and boys who literally don't have anywhere physical to live.
Continue to go before us in our studies and our work and all that we do. Pass this in your son's name. Amen.
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 Hello. Yeah, you're a trouble, baby. Where you at? Where you at? Tyree lost track of time and didn't check in, so now we don't want him walking home this late at night, so we go find him. And this is his second time not checking in, so. The first time there's an issue with checking in, we usually give him kind of a freebie and just a gentle warning, but at this point, there's got to be. The hardest thing is, being the parent, and them not necessarily being used to us being their parents. One of the main criteria for continuing at Joe's Place is progress towards graduation. Did he show up? No. Oh, Steven!
He said it.
You can ride by your daddy.
Come sit down next to us. We need to talk. This food is delicious. You need to try some. This is your plate. We already got you set up. We already got you ready to go. Laundry, dude.
Hey, it's after dinner. We'll have to have a little talk.
Remember that beat? Remember that Ice Ice Baby beat? Bum 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 bum. You're gonna have a time. You're waiting. That jumper is so broken.
So why do we have to have this conversation right now?
Probably late.
Probably late?
Yeah.
What happened last week?
Had this conversation. Yeah.
Right? Yeah, we had we gave you a gentle reminder last week, right? What just needs to happen, Ty, is that you have to be home at 6, or we have to have a phone call at 6. Does that make sense? We want you to go to the hikes, we want you to play ball and stuff, but you have to be responsible to either be home at 6 or to give us a phone call, okay? Now, why is it important for Alyssa and I to know where you are?
For safety, but.
Exactly, but when it was like after 6, we start getting worried about you, right? You're gonna have to check in after school, then you're gonna have to stay home for the next 4 days, okay? So essentially, you gotta check in after school for the rest of this week and stay put, all right?
Unlike many of the homeless adults, these homeless young people are largely invisible. They may be sleeping on couches at friends' homes, staying overnight with relatives, or sharing cheap, overcrowded motel rooms with family members. Or they could be living on the streets and squatting in abandoned buildings.
This was home to me at once. This was home. So there's a big meth problem in my family at the time. And my cousin was staying here with us, and I think he actually was made a meth lab in the basement. And it caused a lot of mold to grow in the basement because of all the ammonia and stuff he had down there. And there was mold as thick as as big as the window you see there at the front of the house on the walls down there, in my bedroom, in the open room, in the laundry room. And it was like, we used to spray, like me and my sister used to have to, like, before we go to bed at night, we'd have to, like, spray with this stuff so, like, it wouldn't be contagious, like, I mean, like, harmful to us. So we had to spray it with this, like, mold killer stuff. He tore the wall off. Alright. This is gonna be crazy. Look at the mold. That's what it looks like downstairs, but way bigger. Crazy. Feather blades. That was like a $200 fan. Just sit here and chill. You can hear people in the house talking and stuff, so it wasn't like I felt scared or alone. Like now I go to the house like looking in there and just then it looks scary, like something like in a movie, a scary movie you see. Just sit here and chill. God, it smells super good.
Hey, I thought we was finna fight, man. Wait, you was doing I don't know yet. What?
I was staying with a friend for a while, and everything was just getting hectic, and eventually I didn't have a place to go. Like, I could go to my mom's house, but we weren't getting along. I couldn't stay with my dad. So essentially, you know, I was just going house to house, hey, can I stay here for a little bit? Hey, can I stay here? And I was like, man, I need to do something about this. And Steven was my friend, and he said, hey, try to stay at Joe's place. And I was like, you know, I don't really have any problems besides the fact that my dad's just, you know, not really nice at all. He says, you know what, just talk to him about it. And I talked to Vince Estrada about it, and this is how I came to be at Joe's place. I think one passion that I have, actually, is to make my mom proud. Like, my mom worries about me. My mom doesn't think I can do what I want to do. Like, not what I want to do, just be successful. And that's something I want to prove to her, and I think that's a passion of mine, is to prove to her that I can do something and that I can be somebody.
It's like a 1-bedroom house, and like we turned the front room into a bedroom. And then there was another room, a little smaller room. We had a living room up in there too. But like for real, like staying there, we always slept in the front room. And it was like a bad environment for me to stay anyway because everybody smoked there. And I got asthma, so I always stayed sick. Them mother super junky. They got milk in here. This milk super all I bet. This milk expired like last year. So yeah, she passed away like 2 months before my birthday. I had like 2 minutes left on my phone. My cousin called me up, and she told me the bad news, and I broke down, started crying real bad, had an asthma attack, and then my brother came out his room and he was asking me what happened, and I passed him the phone. He told him, and then like that same day we hustled up some money, and we came right back.
Dan and Alyssa Reeve were a couple in their early 30s when the need for a home like Joe's place came to their attention. They had a house of their own and a baby boy named Carter on the way. But these simple pleasures of life were not enough to keep them from responding to the call. So they left the house that they had made their own in order to make a home for those who didn't have one.
I mean, my relationship with the boys, you know, it fluctuates. I mean, just with any kind of parenting type situation, this is a parenting situation. Is being the responsible adult and maintaining the boundaries for these boys to be healthy teenagers.
When people ask me what my title is here at Joe's Place, I always like to say that I'm the house mom, and it's a role that I'm very proud of, that I just get to experience life with these boys.
It's been a great thing to see a school district partner with churches and businesses to be a real radical intervention in these families and these boys' lives, to really pull them out of a system that, you know, is broken and it's hard, and they would have just been caught up in. I mean, you know, a lot of them wouldn't have had a choice.
A lot of people in the community have been here and gotten to be a part of the boys' lives. There's one restaurant who brings a meal once a month. There's somebody who works at the local nursery who brings a meal once a month.
It's something that's really been a really beautiful thing to see, because at the core,
what people are concerned about is the dignity of these kids.
Christmas at Joe's place is probably one of my favorite times of the year, just because
It's Christmas.
because I love Christmas, and because it's just so fun to be with them, because they experience it, some of them, just with the joy that Carter has opening a gift, that same level of excitement and joy.
This one. That's not too tall.
It's too tall.
That's not too tall.
Well, that's gonna be like right at the roof.
Okay, that's good. That's better than that one.
No, we can't get a star on it.
Dude, yeah, you can't bend the top down. That's how I do it.
Yeah, if I was a baby and I ran into this
Right,
stuff,
look at this.
I'd
Look
cry.
at this. Touch this and then go over there and touch that. It doesn't even come off. It's just like your hand slides and nothing comes off. Hey, I ain't picking up any needles. That's all I gotta say.
This hard. Man, me, I just go in there
They
and
don't
take a
listen
tree
to
and
me.
come right back
Rotate it a little bit.
I think it's a lot.
there. I'm just trying to help you, man. Can I help you?
It's Dan Reeve. He's our angel, and he's in a Blue Devil outfit with coconut boobs and a little lei. What's it called?
A lei.
A lei, and then a little hula skirt.
I gave it to you, Steven, Jeff, or Terry. Who do you think?
He doesn't care.
Yeah.
So it just is really, really fun to be able to, you know, holidays are such an intimate time for families, and, you know, when you think about who you spend holidays with, and so it just is part of them being our family, and it just brings almost just a deeper level of closeness because you just, you know, it just, I don't even think I could put it into words, just the special time that it is.
Everybody quiet down, quiet down. Stop, moment of silence.
Oh!
You've given me more happy days than I can count. Okay! That's awesome, you guys.
That's awesome. What? Merry Christmas.
What? Wait. Is that what I think it is?
Actually, what I got really excited about was a Letterman's jacket.
Wait, are we getting that? Are we getting that?
Again?
Does it? We're getting on the. Wait, who's gonna put on the
That was another big, like, that's like really made me like super happy. I called my mom instantly.
What's that? Got all my football.
Yeah, I swear.
Yes, he do.
And I want to put my.
I know, and they're gonna pay for all the embroidery and everything.
She really wanted to get me one, and she knew she wouldn't have the money. I told her it was okay, but she got upset really about it. Like, in another time, like, where she really felt like a bad person. Like, she's like, I really want to get this for my son, but I can't. And it crushed her. Someone donated. They're gonna donate money for me, friend Jeff, to get Letterman's jackets.
He hit me with the broom. Light! hit you with the broom. Steven, look at the bathroom. That's why you don't play around, dude.
Is that OxyClean?
Yes.
How's that me? You're the one hitting me.
So you did not come in the bathroom and start hitting people with brooms. Tell me that.
No.
Yes.
Yes, you did.
Who was
you
the broom?
turned off the light, Steven.
You picked me up and went like this, and baseball batted me in the arm. You saying you didn't hit me with the broom?
Baseball bat.
You went like this with the broom and smacked me in the arm.
Yes, Steven, I did that while you were
And then
walking
you
out.
and then you grabbed the broom.
I did hit you.
Look, then you grabbed the broom from
But
me.
I did not knock that out.
You grabbed the
Steven.
broom from me. You went this. Because your phone light came on and we saw that everything was on the ground.
Purse.
Okay.
Steven, you go get the vacuum and Jeff can vacuum.
Jeff broke it.
You're who? Are you serious?
Yeah, when you hit me in the butt with the thing.
Is it cracked? Let's see.
The screen is.
Oh no. Dang it. Roughhousing, gentlemen.
Hey, well, I know about broken phones, man. Trust me. I
Man,
know
this is
about
my one and only phone though.
Look at you did. Look at it. Good.
That's from you hitting me with that.
That's good.
What? 'Cause you didn't
Good
hit me
for
with the
you,
broom.
man.
You hit me with the broom.
Good for you.
What we have is just natural consequences. I mean, they chose to tag Goofy, and as a result, I mean, Steven's phone being broken is enough punishment in that situation because it sucks for him, and you know, even though Jeff may not show it very much, you know, I'm sure he feels bad about it, and that's we know these boys well enough at this point, at least those two, that we know that in that situation there doesn't really need to be punishment because the phone's broken, and that in and of itself is will hopefully help them learn a little bit. So.
And she found the thing. She had told her about how this is working. She said if you tighten it to and I'm like, I was.
So when Fred first moved in, you could definitely tell there was a lot of barriers, you know, between us and him, between the world and him. You just felt like there was this huge kind of distance between. There's just definitely a strong distance with him, not because he was intending it or just, but just that, you know, there's a lot of things that he had just contained within himself, and I think you just saw him struggling with all those things inside of himself.
Some of us had a feeling that Fred wasn't going to make it through high school. We were even worried about his safety. He seemed to be making so many bad decisions. There would be flashes of smiles, and from time to time you could see the personality that was really there. But Fred had basically shut down.
You know, Fred and the other Taylors, I mean, they're coming off the name of the kids who, quote unquote, on the hill is what they sort of call the neighborhood over there on the hill. You didn't mess with the Taylors a whole lot.
Yeah, because it was a couple times when I got locked up when my anger problem got me in trouble. And my parole officer, she put me in anger management classes for 2 years. And it never worked it for me. Like, all these anger skills and programs I've been through, ain't nothing worked for me. It's not his spine, Doug. He right here, actually. He definitely ain't in here. Yeah, there you go, right there. He actually put all this stuff in his mouth and just carry it over here. I don't for touch him because he like to bite me. So he trying to bite me now. He don't trust me and I don't trust him. This is a picture of my mama when she was in high school. Before I leave to go to school every day, I kiss my mama goodbye and go to school. Cause I know my mama, she gonna be proud of me no matter what. I led my team in first place in this relay race right here. That was happy for me. And cause we was actually in like third place, and like this team was in first, and like once I got around the corner, I just killed them. That's when I picked up my speed, and I just started leaving everybody behind. All my medals, these are all my medals I won through the track season. And this ain't even all of them. I lost a lot of them, but like this only for 2 years. I think there's like over 50-some medals. I got a whole bunch of doubled up medals.
You can be a part of the excitement.
Bro, the first game this season, I was running, and then I was like couldn't breathe, and then had an asthma attack on the sideline. Then they took me to the hospital. I didn't want to go though.
And don't forsake the rebound.
Man, I'm about to die.
I'm not mistaken. I'm only broken down to size, but can't explain these scars.
Carter, he changed my life. Seeing him every day, growing up, saying hi to him, cooler dude. Making what you want to do better for the young ones.
Clean your cabinets, you.
You cheated, man.
Come on, see
You cheated.
Oh, that's a pipe. That wasn't just from one. Dude, yeah, that couldn't have been just from me. I swear my body was knocked out after the shower the day before. Well, I couldn't.
Use
bleach.
Thanks, Bert. And I didn't wash my hair yesterday. Where did you get another cookie from?
Fred, why you giving him cookies?
Why you laughing like that?
That's how I went. That's how I went.
Wait, Steven, look at me. Steven, did you give Carter the cookie?
No, I did not.
Fred, did you give Carter the cookie?
Hold on.
I can't tell.
Carter, who gave you the cookie?
Trent.
Carter, I did not give you the cookie, man. That was Steven.
No, it was Fred.
He said no, it was Fred. It was Fred. I know it was Fred.
Look at your lesson plan for tomorrow.
Terry's gonna stay here tonight. His dad's bringing him some clothes.
Okay.
Ty entered Joe's place because Dan and Alyssa were already doing so much to help Fred take care of his younger brother. But Ty never had the chance to make the choice to live there. With the new adjustments to regular schedules and routines, Ty realized that it was too much too soon. He wasn't ready to give up the flimsy notions of freedom that he had once had whilst living in the dilapidated home he and Fred had once occupied. So, he left.
Yeah, like at that time, I didn't really want to live in here because I didn't tell myself that I wanted to live in here.
Well, Ty has kind of always been he seems to be a loner, for lack of a better term. He likes to get out and do things, and he doesn't need, he doesn't really need to ask someone else about it. He just wants to do it. He's a very active child.
And then I just said, I didn't even know about I was living here, and then I just called my uncle, my uncle, and he came and picked me up, and I moved out.
After living at a friend's house for a time, Ty began to realize that while he had gained back his freedom, he had given up something far more important, a place he could really call home. So, in April, he returned.
Thank you.
However, shortly thereafter, due to an incident at school, Ty was suspended. Because house rules indicate that you have to be enrolled in school in order to live at Joe's place, Ty had to leave the home once more. The following week, when Ty returned, it was because he truly wanted to be there.
You know, at this point, he just seems to be increasing his responsibility, period, and letting people know what he wants to do, how he wants to do those things, and sort of that, you know, I use the term assertiveness is a good thing that he's learning. Assertiveness, not meaning that it's something bad, but someone who's able to self-advocate, who's able to actually articulate, this is what I want, this is what I need.
Their camaraderie is unmistakable, but sometimes it is shaken. Whether it's a broken cell phone or a lost hairbrush, this group of young men can easily be mistaken for any other ordinary family.
That you haven't paid him back and you haven't given him a reasonable answer to how you're going to do it. That's the problem.
Okay, well, if Fred would have said, Jeff, well, when are you going to pay me back and how are you going to pay me back, I would have been like, you know what, that's fine. But Fred didn't come to me that way.
I want you guys to be able just to come to a healthy point here, all right? So that there's clear communication. Because I don't want either of you feeling like you're not being treated appropriately or like the other person's not supposed to be doing what they need to be doing, okay? So you're cool, Jeff, with trying to pay
tomorrow, yeah.
Okay, and then if you're not able to, what's your plan?
I mean, I don't know what he want. I'll have to wait till my next paycheck.
Okay,
well, or I'll work around here to get $10 to pay him back then.
Okay.
I'm not going with mom now.
Why?
Jessica's not going.
Why?
She's got an argument with her mom. Her mom's like, needs to be home at 11. And she's like, oh, I'm not going then.
You guys can still go to prom if you have her back by 11.
Yeah, but the dance is over at 11. Prom's over at 11, like the dance there at the prom is
Why
over.
don't you ask her mom if she could be home at 11:30?
She doesn't want to go home now because, like, I don't know, she's being stubborn and a girl.
So, I mean, have you tried to talk to him about that before?
Nobody was tripping.
Well,
I just know not to leave out none of my stuff in my bathroom no more.
He lost his brush like 2 weeks before we went camping. I've always had mine in my book bag.
I know, but he took one out of your book bag.
So there's 2 brushes in there.
What?
So there's 2 brushes.
In your book bag?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's your book bag.
No, but you just said.
Like I said, so either the scenario could have been
You lost your brush. I'm just saying, you lost your brush. I have mine.
The funny thing is they'll be over it in a day. I hope. Good gracious, it's a brush.
I thought we should make them hug.
Are you kidding me? Do you want to fight on our hands here or what?
I'm just kidding.
No one's willing to take responsibility for their morning duty in the toilet. But what leads on to an issue of hairbrushes being in other people's possessions and so Fred thinking that Jeff had his hairbrush. Jeff denying up and down saying he didn't have it. So, dude.
She's not going.
For sure.
Yeah, for sure. I'm not going to prom.
Dude, that doesn't mean that you can't go to
I'm not going if she's not going.
Well, it's
stupid.
It's also the heat. It's the heat of the moment. You don't have to make any decisions right now.
Yeah.
Now, Thursday, after 2 weeks after these plans have been made, her mom all of a sudden says now it's being home at 11 o'clock, and it doesn't matter if you have to leave prom or not. I don't care. You're being home at 11 o'clock.
You don't know what she might say tomorrow, you know? I know, but you need to go get a good night's sleep. You've had a real crummy week and...
Holy moly. It's 11:30.
I know, you need to go to bed.
I did not know that way.
I watched laundry candy.
Tomorrow's a new day. Maybe not for your dirty clothes, but...
And like, what I like about them is they kind of see everything, like they always stop and think about like 2 sides of a story. Like they always give you like 2 perspectives of the story.
Living here at Joe's place has only like added to my dreams, added to what I can do, added to what I want to do. Because living here, I see what my potential is, I see what I can do with my life. So no, I would say living here did not decline any of my dreams or anything that I wanted to accomplish, only added to what I wanted to do with my life.
I think that has definitely been like a leading point in me staying here is like the decisions that I make, like what will happen if I do that, and then I just kind of go step to step from there.
It's funny because the guys always say it's like
what do they say? They say he's like.
Yeah, you're like an older version of us, and we don't like it because it's us.
Yeah, because it's us. We don't like seeing ourselves.
I don't know. I never really have heard them use the language, you know, of a father figure.
I haven't talked to my dad in like 6 years, and like he was trying to get away from us because we were the bad part of the whole reason why he didn't talk to us is because it was our fault. So they didn't talk to us because of it. Yep. I haven't talked to him in a long time. I don't claim him.
What would you do if he walked up right now?
If who?
Your dad.
I don't know. I haven't talked to him so long, I don't know what I would do. That'd be weird. I probably wouldn't even recognize him at first.
Mm-hmm. But what would you be, or what would you say to him?
I think I'd make it more into a question for him, and I'd say why.
Why what?
Why? Why all this? Why did you give up on me and not want to be a dad no more? Why haven't you talked to me?
It's like, it's weird because it's like I've grown up all my life being like my own man, as you could say. Like I've grown up like raising myself. I've had my mom there really, but I feel like I've raised her. Like I've been taking care of her as well, watching out for her instead of her watching out for me. So like now that I have Dan like in the house, it's big because it's like I feel like I have a dad now.
What? Okay. Oh! Okay, Dan, I see you, kid. I see you. What?
Well, I come around every now and again, when the lights are low and they're flickering. There's a bit of paper torn to pieces on the floor. It's a lonely place, no one comes here anymore. Do you believe in miracles? It's love an accident? Do you believe in miracles? Is this all we get?
The Spirit of St. Louis Masonic Lodge number 27 will award a scholarship to Jason Centers, Stephen Parks.
It's love an accident? Do you believe in miracles? Is this all we get? Is this all we get?
At this time, I'm going to ask each of these athletes to don their pin and find that section of paper where you are to sign your signature. And what I need you to do at this time, now is the time, you're moving to the next part of your life, go ahead and sign your signatures on your letter of intent.
It was very cool to see him sitting up there and signing that and know what he's going to be doing next year is just a really incredible and amazing thing. And we're so proud of him, and I know that he is just so proud of himself.
With his personal goals set, Fred was prepared to prove that the Taylor name wasn't simply one of mischief. Fred stood poised to show this to everyone else. By the end of the day, Fred had won all 4 of the races that he had entered: the 100, the 200 and 400 meter, and the 4x100 relay. He set a new state record in 2 of his heats. The MRH track team came out on top with 85 points. Fred contributed 40 of those points. It took the entire second place team to gather 49 points. In a word, Fred had cleared the family name.
Watching him evolve over the last 4 years into this brilliant athlete who is self-confident and is able to go away to school it's really an amazing thing to see.
Be answers for you, I'll be mad.
What?
Be answers for you, I'll be super mad.
That's how you talk.
Some say the better the dream, the worse the outcome seems to be. Then in the morning you would find you're alone. And with my pockets against the green, I wandered slowly through this perfect dream that only brings the 2 of us through a fog. It's the perfect love, the wicked sun, and a downtown buzz. And blame the sleeping drug and a heart
I'm glad I'm not
smiling. They've matured into such incredible young men. Just to see how much they've changed and just to get to experience that with them has been a really great thing.
You learn to hide until the clock upon the wall says it all. You heard a voice that you've never seen, and unconsciously it turns.
Another. You have lifted each other up when times were dark. In the end, the accomplishment is yours. You have set high goals for yourself in the classroom, on the field, on the track, on the court, on the stage, on the page, and you have learned the power of
Jeffrey Michael Enzer.
My views on things have definitely changed since staying with Dan and Alyssa. Like, Dan and Alyssa made me realize that, you know what, you're not always going to get your way. You know, there's always going to be someone telling you what to do, and you just have to go with it because that's life. You're just going to have to go with it. I mean, Dan is a father to me. Dan, you know, I come to Dan, all my problems that I have, I talk to Dan about, and it's easy. I mean, because Dan doesn't judge you, and I like that. Like, and especially, I'm not even like, I'm his son, but I'm not his son, and it's like, that means a lot to me for somebody just to like open their arms and be like, hey, I can take care of you.
Fred Taylor.
Because I got a hard time expressing my feelings around anybody. But like, they actually like a mom and a dad for me because my dad, he ain't never been a dad for me.
They're turning into really outstanding young men. I know they're going to make a difference in the world.
It's going to be hard not to be kind of part of their daily life to be able to check in with them to make sure they're getting things done. And so that's our part, is to kind of let them go and be free in a certain sense.
Stephen Jeffrey Hart.
Yeah, I'm grateful to all those people, you know, especially Dan and Alyssa. You know, I couldn't even begin to thank them, because I think they helped him, you know, go in a better direction even than I could have ever had Stephen go in. You know, no matter how hard I would have tried, I think they put something in his life that he needed, you know, in a direction that helped him find the way that he really wanted to be and to go in, you know, and I'm grateful to them, you know, and always will be. You know?
It feels like it goes by way too fast. I never thought that we'd get to this day, because it's a big deal. So.
Distinguished guests on stage, Deputy Mayor, Mayors, Board of Education President, Mr. Finley, I would like to announce to the audience that the class of 2009
Having graduated, they may still have difficulty finding a place to lay their heads at night. They still battle the monsters of their pasts. But they face the world equipped for such a battle. They face the world bearing the effects of love and restoration. They go into the world with the joyful memories of Joe's Place.